Greetings from a chilly Kansas City. This is Renee Benson at AV Renee KC. You are listening to and watching the AV Life.
Hey, this is Nancy Blanchard with Bose Professional, and I am in rainy San Jose, California. And you are listening to and watching the AV Life.
Hello, everyone. I'm Murphy Daly, AV veteran, writer of the soon-to-be-released AV Project Manager Handbook. And you are joining us for the AV Life.
James here, writer for Higher Ed Digital Magazine, IT and AV column. Google me, you'll find me, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life.
Merry Christmas! I'm Joe Way, and I am so happy you are watching and listening to the AV Life.
And I'm your host, Tim Van Wert, coming at you from hilarious state of New Jersey, where it is, of course, for the high quality content. It's chilly here in New Jersey. I got my heater on, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life. Yes, the high quality content, as always, you're here for. We already talked about the weather, but it's more than that here. It is our holiday special, and man, do we have a lineup here tonight. Like, we are fully loaded on crew members. We got some great guests. This is going to be a fun episode. I'm feeling it already, and I don't even know what's ahead of me here. So, but with this crew, I'm not surprised. So first, before I even ask how everyone's doing, let me intro our guests so they can also chime in on this. And in no particular order, first I'm bringing in Mr. Mike Pedersen. How you doing tonight, Mike?
I'm doing great. How are you? Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's always fun to be here. I'm Mike Pedersen. I'm the Audiovisual Experience Manager at Iowa State University. I am found on the Twitters, so look me up.
All right. Well, glad to have you, Mike. Again, you are a regular here, and we are glad to have you. And back again as well, Miss Jennifer Weaver. How are you, Jennifer?
I'm well, thank you. I am Jennifer Weaver. I am our business development manager at Starin, and I am actually in chilly South Florida. It was chilly today. I had to
I
wear
heard
a
it was
sweater.
sweater weather.
It is sweater weather. It is very much sweater weather. I am in a t-shirt, but I do have like the air, like my whatever you want to call it. We don't have furnaces, but it is kicked up just a little bit because it's chilly.
All right. Well, we're glad you're back. Moving on over, Mr. Richard Hutton. Hey, Richard. How are you, sir?
Do I have to give like a weather report? Is that part of this?
Yes.
Yeah, it can be.
High quality
realize
content
that we were
people are
like
here for, you know.
10 different versions of the weather around the country. Hi, I'm Richard Hutton at Richard Hutton 67 on the twits. I run the marketing team for Sharp NEC Display Solutions here in sunny, normal Chicago.
Well, welcome back, Richard. And last but certainly not least, the one, the only, well, maybe only. Well, yeah, you are the only.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know if we can.
We all hope so.
Exactly.
Mr. Tim Albright, welcome to the AV Live. Tim, how are you, sir?
Thank you for having me. I'm just south of Richard, so but I'm warmer. And Jennifer, I don't believe you when you say it's chilly in Florida.
It is totally sweater weather. Swear.
It was 20 when I woke up this morning.
Yeah, same.
Celsius or Fahrenheit.
It's a winter 70.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Hey, Joe Way, do you want to kind of put us at a baseline? What's California weather here?
You know what? We haven't talked about small towns yet. I know that comes up next. So today we were only at 68, but I'm a little upset because my golf on Thursday is going to have to be canceled. We are moving from the course outside to the simulator inside. So it's because we are getting rain. Yes.
Oh wow, you're getting rain.
Getting rain. But it did stop for a few minutes. Amy is off playing pickleball with our neighbors. It did stop a little bit. And I decided to spend the evening here with you instead.
Well, we are glad to have you, Joe. Thank you for gracing us with your presence here
Right.
tonight.
You see how I made that about me?
Yes, I see how you made it about.
We're
yeah.
also very used to that. So yes.
All right. Well, yeah, we are
Okay.
glad. So for the rest of the crew, how are we all doing now that we heard from our guests? How are we doing, crew?
Wait. I got to tell you an adventure I had this morning. Not
right,
this
let's
morning,
hear it.
this afternoon. All right. It is December. I am in Los Angeles, which is a warm area comparatively. And we are used to having lizards run about on our backyard concrete surfaces. So on my patio, I was walking into my backyard and my back door, and there was a lizard, a long lizard about this long, including the tail, and the tail was draped over the edge of the patio, and I'm like, is this lizard dead? I was trying to see if it was dead. It didn't seem dead, but I like flicked its tail and it didn't move. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's dead. So I grabbed my daughter to look at the potentially dead lizard. Is it dead or is it a cold situation? So I brought my 14-year-old daughter out. We were looking at it. We were shrieking about it. And apparently our hyena laughter woke the lizard and it did slowly slither away. But this weather is no joke. It's chilly here.
Isn't
So
that
cold
what
for-
happened in
for
Florida
reptiles.
a couple years ago? Like the little like chameleon lizards or whatever those things are started falling out of the trees on
Oh
people.
no, not the little ones, the really big iguanas.
Oh,
Yeah.
those two? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I only heard about
Those
the little
will
ones.
fall out of the trees and they literally will tell you don't pick them up and think they're dead, because people would pick them up thinking they were dead and put them in their trash can, and then there would be like lizards, these huge iguanas running around people's garages and in their yards, because once they warmed up they can climb out and they're just dropping
Things
like
to
flies.
know. Jennifer has told you important things you need to know as you travel
Exactly.
throughout the world.
Mhm.
Leave the dead iguanas,
Leave 'em
seemingly
alone.
dead
Leave it,
iguanas
yeah.
alone.
Don't touch them, they'll be fine. They'll
Yeah.
wake up eventually.
Leave the frozen iguanas alone. Okay, got it.
So there was this time when I was in St. John. It was great. So there was an iguana that used to hang out, that was hanging right outside of our villa the entire week. And
Yeah.
it was us and friends of ours. And it was the same iguana. And we knew it because he had a little nip out of his thing. I mean, I know this is the quality content. Everyone comes to AV here. But let me continue with the story. And we ended up naming him Bob because why not? It was easy enough, right?
It's a fair
And
name.
so, yeah, it was. And the thing is, he was very cute, but each morning he would come a little closer to the point where you thought, I kind of need to pet him. Did you know their teeth are a little razor sharp?
Just a touch, yeah.
Yeah.
And they
it turns
carry all
out
kinds
Bob
of
was not as friendly
bacteria.
as we thought. Yeah, no, but he did like us. It probably had more to do with like
Liked
the
you.
food and drink we
love
would leave
bite.
on the table outside every night than us, but nonetheless, there we go. And that is the riveting conversation people come to hear.
Hey, you know what? This is the holiday party. Anything is possible here tonight. Well, actually, anytime on any AV Life episode, anything is possible. Well, you know what? Before we get into the holiday stuff, let's actually talk a little bit about AV stuff.
Now, I was told there would be no AV chat on this.
Yeah,
one.
me
That's
too.
why-
Yeah,
no.
Is that if it involves rock and roll? Is that like?
Oh
That
no, I
works.
think that might be okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I thought we were going to have to pick our favorite connector or something.
No,
Yeah.
no. That's I'm midway
Different
through.
show.
I'm midway through my CTS training, and we're about to talk. Thursday is talking about connectors, and I'm ready. I know my connectors. And I know it's not geared for me exactly. It's geared in a general perspective, but I know that's going to be okay. Let's just sit there and just absorb moment.
Sorry.
So
I know my connectors. Again, the riveting conversation. People listen to podcasts.
Of course.
They all
So-
fit if your hammer's big enough.
13W3.
With
That's
a
my
heat-
favorite
Yes.
connector.
Yeah, anything's possible with a
13W3.
heating source and a hammer. And
Let
duct
us
tape.
know why VGA will never die.
So, Tim, we've done a rap artist battle. Do we need to do a connector battle? VGA.
Wow, you lost.
Yeah.
Now you got to follow it up.
Are we going negatively or are we going positively?
I don't know. I just named one. You got to come back.
DB9.
HDMI.
Tim still got the
USB-C.
The DB9.
By the way, I'm gonna lose this one because I'm gonna go a network jack, and then I'm done.
just
There you
There you go.
RJ45.
BNC.
That's what it's called.
Scuzzy forever. No,
That's it.
Parallel.
There we go.
5
Parallel.
You know how you know you're old?
That's one, right?
Yeah, you know you're old when the fact that if somebody says scuzzy, you don't think it's a negative or a
Right.
slight
That's
on
true.
something.
Yeah. So Avix actually just posted an article. I think it was like in the last week. We were going to try to talk about this last week, but then me and Lyle and James got on a totally separate conversation, which was absolutely awesome. So if you missed it last week, go back and listen to Always Learning, the episode from last week. And Kiss has gone out and has stop motion, and they've actually not stop motion, they've motion captured themselves to create a virtual concert experience. And I was kind of like just thinking, I'm like, is this the direction that we are going to go? And before we even started recording, like Lyle started talking about the fact that, like, you know, they're still alive, so it's not so bad. But if you did it like with the Beatles or like with Michael Jackson, like there's a little bit of a weirdness to it because they're, you know, either some or all or but
I
want to
like
get your
Apple,
thoughts
like
on
Apple
this.
did with the Beatles song.
Say again, Tim.
Like Apple did with the Beatles song.
Well, yeah,
I mean, exactly.
So, and yeah, there was like the Michael Jackson virtual experience that came up, you know. I mean, is this the way we keep our legends alive? Like, is this like, or is it something that do we just let them go? So it's
good tribute bands. Good tribute bands.
Okay.
Worth it.
If we're talking about a band, keeping them alive, I think this kind of hologram idea is better than the head in a jar.
Oh, well, you know, it kind of worked in Futurama. Come on.
Yes, but they didn't have stage presence.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nixon kind of chewed up every scene.
You know, so all right. So here's the thing. Like, so for example, at the Sphere, I've said this a couple of times. If you're looking at this from not to do AV talk, but let's do AV talk. It could have been a U2 cover band as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because the venue was so amazing.
Yeah.
And you were engulfed in everything. It might as well just been a cover band. Right? So who cares about the real artist if you can create an experience around what that song or that thing is supposed to actually encompass?
Well, the artist might care, but you know, there's that.
Yeah, they're getting a royalty.
They're getting the royalties on it.
Well, even, I mean, as long as it's maybe the artist family, like I'll tell you what, they can put Prince, they can put him on a stage, and I would be front and center to watch that and be very happy because then, you know, I'm still mourning and I'm still very much in mourning. So I will take that, but I don't want to pay the same amount of money that I would pay if it was actually the artist. Like Taylor Swift, if she's a hologram, I'm not paying Swiftie money to see a hologram. Sorry, Joe. Like, I know you love her, but I mean,
I wouldn't even pay
No,
money.
you
to
don't
pick her.
go there.
I love her. I do love her. She's
Isn't
going to
that
be in
kinda what
South
the
Florida
movie
in
is, though?
October. But I
Just
just
buy a
can't.
cheap ticket. Come on.
I can't even. Yeah,
Well, no,
like
but
the cheap seats are really.
You could go to the
expensive.
movie theater and watch her, right? For a drastically reduced rate.
Yeah.
You know what? I almost she's okay, she can't hear because she's playing pickleball. But you know, Amy and I almost had some issues because we came out of the Taylor Swift movie and she's like, "Oh, I liked it better than the show in person." And I'm like, "We were literally 8th row on the floor."
Yeah, that.
And you liked it better. She's like, yeah, because she was right there, and this, and I got the experience, and here I've got all these teenagers screaming in my face, and I was like, $3,000 seats.
I can understand that.
Like
Like
what
my-
the heck?
I was 23 years old, and my mom and I went and saw the Backstreet Boys, and we were like the only ones that could probably drink in there. And the guy didn't even card me because he's like, "Oh, I can tell you're way older than these little girls running around here." So I can understand that about the young girls yelling and screaming, and Swifties are cray cray. So they get a little cray cray.
I mean, there's like
Ask
I've seen like Billy Joel in concert. I've been to Green Day. I've seen Metallica. Like I've seen like a whole gamut of folks live. There's nothing that beats live as far as I'm concerned.
No.
I was
Mhm.
last row in Madison Square Garden with my mom to see Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in the late 90s. So this was like,
Oh, not this
prime
latest run that he's been doing.
right. Yeah, this is
Right.
prior to the Garden run and everything like that, and like in his quote unquote prime. I'm just good, but and I've seen videos of his concert since then. Nothing still compares to being there. So
No.
the live experience, and I think there's something to that memory of the live experience that you cannot replicate. And I mean, what's happening with Kiss, I think, is just for archival purposes more than anything else. And I think another part, James, if we were talking when we were talking about it, it was more for the experience because Kiss has that persona, right?
Yeah. I don't remember how much we were talking about because I think that was before I got on.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's just like, Kiss and all those classics, like they don't die. Like Rolling Stones, like generations love Rolling Stones.
Mhm.
Kiss, the same thing. Like it doesn't matter what generation you are, you're gonna enjoy it. But some of these other bands are gonna live and they're gonna die, and
Well,
they're
Keith
it's gonna
Richards is
fade
never
out.
gonna die. That's
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing is sometimes we just gotta let these artists, they come, they do their art, and then they fade in the background. And let new artists.
No,
come
they
in.
don't
We gotta
fade.
stop
That's the
trying to
problem. They
preserve
keep coming
everything.
back, and we keep paying $1,000 to go see 80-year-old men jump around the stage with really good backing singers to make them sound as good as maybe they did 30 years ago.
You're not wrong. I guarantee you these bands we used to pay like $8 to get into have raised their price along with our incomes. They are
Absolutely.
completely like,
Yeah, I'm not into that. Yeah, no. And I love the Stones. I like love them to death. And I saw them in the early 90s, and it was a great show. Rose Bowl. Red Hot Chili Peppers opened for them. It was fantastic.
Tomorrow night, down the street from me, George Clinton and Parliament are going to play.
Oh,
nice.
I'm
The
so
last
sad
concert
I
went
cannot
to
go.
I just recently went to the Beach Boys with my wife. I took her for our
right.
anniversary. It was a good show, but I mean, it was what actually I was most impressed with was the drummer. Because of course, only two of the originals are still touring, but the drummer they had was amazing. The guy was nuts. I mean, I would be shocked if he's not from a heavy metal band or something. The way he was going, but
That's
again,
a little bit to Murphy's point, though, right? If it's the band, right? Just keep cycling in, newer, younger blood that can play the songs as good.
So yeah. So at what point though is it no longer the band? That's
well, exactly. And if you're gonna give me a cover band, I'd much rather go to a small bar locally and get the the 80 people small bar experience with a cover band. To me personally, for me, I way rather enjoy a live music experience at a local bar with a smaller venue than a huge concert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's what I love about the Beach Boys. It was a smaller casino here in Vegas, and I mean tickets were like $20. It was outside, great weather. It was like it was nothing. Like I got great seats, center, about maybe 8 rows back, center. It was awesome.
James, there's a heavy rock tribute band in Vegas. If they're still playing, they are amazing. They're called Yellow Brick Road. They play the station casinos, I think, quite a lot around the town. One of the best musicianships I've seen. They play all the, you know, AC/DC and Metallica and all that. Is fantastic. They're
I've
really,
heard
really
of them.
cool.
Yeah. Heard
Yellow
of them,
Brick
and
Road.
there's tons of
worth
stations.
checking out.
Nice.
Forget the holograms. Give me live music.
Yeah.
In my
But
in
like
my
I said,
younger
like,
days, in my
you can
younger days,
pull-
we had. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
I was just gonna say, if you're pulling some of the God bless them, the ones that have passed on that you didn't see, I mean, but just I don't want to pay the going rate.
Right.
Like I want the $8.
Well, and it's funny because like so my wife and I, there's a band called Taking Back Sunday. They're in like an alt rock band.
Oh yeah. I remember
and they're
those
playing.
guys.
They're playing a small venue here in New Jersey. Actually, they just passed this weekend. And the general admission tickets, it's a Starland Ballroom here in Sayreville, New Jersey. And usually we could
They
go
have a
see
really good
them.
network over there.
Yeah, well, it's getting better. So thank you, Murphy. And so usually the going rate for their tickets is like between $50 and $75. Yeah, because they're like one of the more popular, smaller, you know, kind of following bands. But this last time it was like $129, $130 to go see them. And my wife and I, we chose not to because it's just at this time of year, like it's hard to justify that price for a band, no offense, that's been around for like 20 plus years, that they're not as big as they may have once been, you know? So like if this was 2005, 2006, okay, yeah, maybe I would have paid that much, but even back then we weren't paying those sort of prices for them. So yeah, I agree. It's hard to justify sometimes that price, you know, especially lately. And like, what was it? Metallica and Blink-182 both went to MetLife here in New Jersey, and the tickets were astronomical. It's like it was like Taylor Swift level tickets, you know. It's like I wasn't again, like I've seen both of them. Like I didn't need to go see them again at that rate, you know. So
Crazy.
but real quick, I'm gonna do a quick lightning round before we move into the holiday stuff. Favorite live performance, and I'll oh, Richard looks ready. So
is there a time? Wait, is it time bound? Is it ever? Is it within?
ever
That you
or
were
like
that
most
you
memorable?
observed,
Oh.
no, Joe. Like you can't pick the Beatles at the Met Stadium because you weren't alive yet.
That you actually attended. How about that? Like,
Ooh.
so
I'll go.
I'll start with mine.
Okay.
And it's just because it was a memorable experience as well as the artist. It was Yellow Card during their their first farewell tour at Starland. And it was me. I think there were like 8 of us, and we're all friends of ours. You know, we all went, and we were like 4 or 5 deep from the band, and the energy was amazing. Like they were amazing. Like everything about that performance at that venue was aligned perfectly. Like I remember that night from start to finish in my head, you know. So that is like one of those. So yes, that event, and that was 6 years ago, 7 years, might be longer than that at this point, but that's my favorite. Anybody else ready? Renee.
I will say I've had a lot that I think, oh, that's the best. And then I go to another one. I'm like, oh, no, that's the best. Like Billy Joel and back in the day, Rod Stewart. But Pink, and if anybody's ever seen Pink in concert, I've been
Very
3
good.
times.
Yep.
She is like acrobatic through the air, never misses a beat. She's not lip syncing. And she just, the fact that she can keep up with what she's doing, and she's built and just rocks the whole time. I just think she was awesome. Entertaining.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I go old school?
Go ahead, Nancy.
Frank Sinatra, Toronto. Rush, Buffalo, last minute, just decided to drive from Toronto, got great scalper tickets. Natalie Cole in Vegas. And then I had one more, and now all of a sudden I've forgotten. But yeah.
Very
Now, if we want to say, how about the all-time favorite Milli Vanilli in Toronto at the front of the stage, and they looked like they were singing?
I
Wow,
saw
that's
them
awesome.
twice.
I know. Isn't that the joke now that people make so much money by lip syncing on social media?
Yep.
Yeah.
I need
And
to
they
get a
had to
piece
give
of
the
that.
Grammy back.
Who?
I know, me too.
Uh,
I could lip sync.
I was gonna say for
Murphy?
me, Train in the Warfield, San Francisco, 1998.
Ooh,
right.
I'm seeing
That's
Train
nice.
in a few weeks.
This was before they hit hard.
I
This
was gonna
was
say
their big
that's
hit was Meet Virginia.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very early. It was a
That's
good
Train's
real
time.
playing.
early, yeah.
Yeah, Train is playing the Amex in a
Mm.
couple weeks.
Nice.
2 weeks.
My former employer bought that song, so I heard that song way too much.
Mhm.
Way too much.
I was like right up there against the stage with somebody that I was soon gonna not be with anymore. And it was amazing. I'm like, life is supposed to be really good. This guy maybe shouldn't be part of it.
Oh,
Wow.
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 I had said the same thing. I saw Maroon 5 way early, and I remember listening to what's his name's voice?
Adam
Adam
Levine.
Adam
Adam
Levine,
Levine.
and being
Mm.
like, he's so high pitched. Like who's gonna listen to that? And then yeah, here now we're what 20 years removed from their first album and how big they are. So yeah.
Well, I didn't mean the band. I meant the guy that I was with, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking music.
Yeah. The music was great. I had a whole eye thing going on with the bass player that I don't think stayed with the band, but that was like
Okay. Motorhead with Ozzy Osbourne, 1981, Port Vale
Ooh.
Football Ground. Was in the Guinness Book of Records of the loudest concert at that point. It was crazy loud. I was 14. I can't believe my parents dropped me off and picked me up.
Richard.
Frank Zappa, Wembley Arena, 1988. Last tour, last gig in England, last tour. R.I.P. Radiohead. What do you call it now? Gibson Amphitheatre. What's it in, Joe? Is that the Gibson Amphitheatre? Wasn't called that then. Can't remember.
What?
Blockbuster, maybe? No.
The
Indoor
Gibson
place.
Amphitheater is now has a very non-commercial name known as the Microsoft Live.
Okay. Anyway,
Theater.
Radiohead there in like OK Computer Tour 97. Pretty epic.
Mm.
I'll pick those three. I hate the best music stuff because I love music. So it's like
Yeah.
your best 10 albums. It's like I've got 50. That's probably on the low end. I don't know. It's hard.
So my favorite concert was Styx in Kansas as a doubleheader.
Nice.
Yes.
Mm.
That's awesome.
So I didn't go to many concerts, but probably the best one I've been to was actually one I went to POD before they were big, a small stage at a event called Creation Fest. So I saw them there before they got big. In fact, somebody I was there who I was with there actually knows the lead singer of POD. And then I also saw the Newsboys. And what made that concert memorable is at that time the lead singer used to be their drummer. And so what he did was they used to do a drum battle where the stage actually lifted, tilted, and spun while the two drummers were battling.
Yeah.
And that was cool to see that live.
That
I'm
was
feeling
really cool.
seasick.
Australia represented.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will go. So it was a good question. Tim, you know what? Well, this is the second time today I've told a Tim that they should have a podcast. How random is that?
Very.
I'm going to go full circle with Jen here because one of my favorite shows ever was, we were there when you came to LA. We walked by this place, and how nuts was Chris Neto when we went to the Rainbow Room on Sunset, which is owned by the Troubadour, which
Great
is
venue.
exactly
Great little venue.
where Slash gave me this guitar.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And the only reason this survived the house fire is because it was at my office that day.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
It is a 1973 Gibson Les Paul
Les Paul.
Sunsplash. There we go.
That's awesome.
Nice.
How about that?
Good.
So
Mhm.
at the True, one of the very first nights when LA Guns became Guns N' Roses is my ultimate.
Wow.
That's yeah.
There we go.
Beginning of greatness.
Okay, you win.
Yeah, I didn't see them that long ago. I saw them. When did I see? I've seen them a couple times within the last 10 years. They're still phenomenal. Probably one of my favorites was in 05, 06 when I was living out in Las Vegas. I saw Snoop at House of Blues. That was great.
Ooh, that sounds
Snoop
good.
was great.
I've seen him again open for people, and he's amazing. But I still have to go say I saw him 3 times. Every time I saw Prince was amazing. I saw him in Cleveland, in Pittsburgh, and in Miami after he did the Super Bowl. So
I saw him in London and he was fat. Absolutely. That was another one now I was going, well, Prince got to be up there, but again,
yes,
can't list 100
He's-
gigs.
he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So.
Amazing guitar player, man. People don't realize
Oh,
until you see him live
Oh,
how he shreds on guitar. I mean, one of
Yes.
the best guitar players I've
one
ever
of the best
seen.
guitar
Well,
players in the history of rock and roll.
music-
when
Musician,
if you ever watch the video from the 2004 Hall of Fame induction when he does
That blows
Dancing
them away.
by My Guitar
Guitar
Gently
Gently
Weeping,
Weeps.
and everybody doesn't know what to do because he's just playing and Tom Petty just keeps singing the chords because he won't stop. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The grin on Danny Harrison's face behind him, just like, yeah, this is a moment. This is a
Yep.
moment.
Well, because they're all magnificent that are standing on the stage, and you could just
And he's the
tell
best on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they just were all in awe of him. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
He's be still my heart.
All right. Tim, did
That's
you
a
go?
great question.
It's a great question. And here's where I'm going to pull a weird, like, nobody knows what I used to do before I got in AV. I was in radio for a long time, and
Really?
so yeah,
Wouldn't have known.
I
From
wouldn't
the
know.
voice.
Say
no.
that slower
No.
into the microphone.
Weird.
No.
So like my
It
favorite
was, it
concert
was TV or radio. Then they
is-
looked at him.
is me standing this close to Pat Monahan as he's singing "Meet Virginia" on
Oh.
our morning show, right?
Oh, wow.
That's
Or me
Okay, that
interviewing Lenny
one.
Kravitz before he
Ugh.
goes out on stage with Pink, right?
Love
It's
him
crap
too.
like that.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews, a private concert.
Yeah, I saw Dave Matthews early on. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Rob, Rob, what is his freaking last name?
Matchbox 20, Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Around the same time that he did the song with Santana, he came in and did a
Oh,
yeah.
smooth. Oh,
and played Smooth and told the story of
That
that.
whole
right?
album's just brilliant.
that
Um,
whole album is Supernatural. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with Jen though. The very best, like in person, going and just experiencing it as a concert is Prince, hands down. And I've seen a bunch of folks that you guys have mentioned. I've seen U2 a bunch of times. I've seen Dave Matthews. I've seen a whole bunch of people. Freaking Prince as an entertainer and as a musician, absolutely the best. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh,
All right,
geez,
you
wow.
can end now. That's
I think
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
Because Jen is
No,
right.
how do we
Name dropping.
transition from that? Yeah, that's. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's I think just in our DNA as AV people is that we recognize like the talent and we recognize that good showmanship, which is part of it too.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole experience part of what we do as well. So
Oh, you said experience. Take a drink.
okay.
Sure, why not?
Asante?
By the way, I'm gonna give a shout out because they're in New Jersey. It's Magnify Brewing Company, Jingle Juice, and they're right here in Fairfield, New Jersey.
Nice.
Absolutely delicious. It tastes like Hawaiian Punch. It's amazing.
That's dangerous.
But yeah. So yeah. Well, how do we transition?
Wait, Fairfield, New Jersey. Does that mean we officially checked off the list by talking about a small town?
I mean, I guess it could be considered a small town. Yeah, probably very few
I
people.
wouldn't consider that small.
No,
Not real. No.
How
not
many
Fairfield.
people?
Like if you want to talk small town, just
I was gonna say
I-
Peterson's in Iowa. They're filled with
I was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say we have
I-
other states that have
I-
towns that qualify as small towns.
I grew up in Nebraska, outside of a town called Funk, F-U-N-K, on a farm, and Funk, Nebraska had a total of around 250 total
Oh,
population as a village, right? Incorporated. So yeah, we could talk small towns all day long, and I will destroy all of you with small
I
town
think
stories.
so.
If you have
I-
more cows than people, you win.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I found out today the smallest town here in New Jersey is Walpack, New Jersey. Population 7.
Ooh,
Yeah. Just
You-
on the
you know
border into
what?
Pennsylvania.
We do have that. If anyone's ever driven from LA, well, probably only a person on this call who has driven LA to Vegas is probably Murphy. And we drive through. Oh, you have.
Several
Is it
times.
six?
Lived in Huntington Beach for 14 years.
The
dude.
opposite direction. I've gone
This
from
is
Vegas.
6, you know.
I've gone from Vegas back to LA.
If you ever take that off ramp, it is actually a city of one house.
Zizix?
Zizix.
Zizix.
It used to
yeah.
be a big.
Oh,
It
right.
used to be a big town, but now it's just a dead swamp with one house. in
Yeah,
the
it was a
whole
silver
city.
mining place, right? I think if I
Yeah.
remember rightly. Yeah.
That's what it was in the past, and now it
interesting.
technically is. And so the population changes based on how many people are living in that house. How about that for a fun fact?
There you go. Oh, and the population in the 2010 census was 9. So it went down 2 people. So I don't know what happened to those 2 people, but
They may have gotten voted out.
they may.
True crimes podcast right
There
now.
you go.
I mean, think about that. So if you were a one family city and you run for mayor, I mean, like, you want to talk about playing favorites
Pretty
with
good
your
odds.
family, right? I mean,
that still
well, I don't know.
nepotism?
You still got to be 18. And like, so what if like husband and wife are the only people who are over 18 and they both run?
What benefit does it get to be a city?
Yeah, do you tax yourself to pay yourself in that scenario? Is that how that works?
Dude, I would think that's the ultimate tax loophole ever.
Tax yourself before you wreck yourself.
I don't know. I just know I never want to live in a town that small to even find out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's
uh-uh.
not the best place on the planet, Zizix.
But I did find out, because, well, why not watch Island Life when you have nothing else to do on a Sunday afternoon? That if you buy a private island out within, so you can actually make it your own country.
Yeah,
if
you
it's out
can.
in
Yeah.
international waters.
How far out?
It's like 13 miles. It's actually not that far.
That's not bad.
No, it's not far at all.
That's
It's
not
not a
far,
real
yeah.
country unless
Outside.
you've got a soccer team, so you have to be FIFA incorporated to fully qualify.
Hmm. I could be a
Interesting.
soccer team.
We're gonna pool some money together, or how are we gonna make this happen?
Yeah, get some
You know?
get some sponsors for that.
We definitely need some sponsorships.
The island of AV life.
Oh my. That is
Uh,
scary.
All right, well, let's talk holidays real quick. Since this is before we move on to, well, we already did small towns, so that's out. We did weather, we did the small towns, we did
We
best
talked about the
life,
fear.
so
We talked
let's
about the
talk
fear.
how-
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
holidays. What's our favorite holiday tradition?
Drinking.
What's that?
Spiked
Drinking?
eggnog.
Wow.
the Marion Bright
She
part.
went there.
Is it food? Is it drinking? Is it shows?
Whatever
Is
it
it
is, might
family?
be.
Is
Nobody's
it...
running naked around the oak tree on winter solstice. Nobody's doing that, right?
Wait a
Just
minute.
me?
Never heard of
Okay.
it.
Not
Was
after
a
last year's incident, no.
Glastonbury thing.
Actually,
Not again.
I have a small family, so for me it's like every other year with the kids and
Mhm.
things like that. So I don't have like any typical tradition, I guess you could say. Dynamics change, so
Yeah. Well, I will say I enjoy helping my son still put the angel on top of the tree. So
That's
that's
cool.
still he's about to be 9. Actually, by the time this episode airs, he will be 9.
Oh.
Yeah, he still needs my help putting the angel on top of the tree. He's getting close, so I know my years are
I was
numbered
gonna
for that.
say, I was gonna say, Tim, is this one of those tall people of AV things?
Yeah.
This is a tall
Yeah,
people of
yeah.
AV
Probably.
things. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see,
The
I
short
don't,
people
I don't
of
get that
AV
big
need the
Christmas tree.
tall people.
Well, I'm raising another one, so eventually he'll be able to do it on his own without my assistance. So
So Joe and I were talking about this, I think today or last week, and I miss being in higher education, the time that we would close down between Christmas and New Year's. Now, I stole that, and I still take off the week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So that legitimately is my favorite week of the year.
Yeah, Tim, that was like 7 hours ago.
Dude, I've seen you so much in the last 2 weeks. They all just kind of come together.
Yeah.
By the way, Joe
Tim,
Way introduced me to the spiciest shrimp I've ever had in my life. They were fantastic, but
warned
oh
you.
my God.
I warned you.
He did
that
warn
if-
me. No, 100% he warned me, and I still did it. But oh my God, they were fantastic, but they were hot.
Yes, tell me the Mexican food place by my house. If you ever come to my house and you want food, I took him there. He's like, "Oh, where you want to go?" I'm like, and then I ordered our shrimp Diablo. It's the hottest thing you'll ever have, to the point where if you're a gringo, they will tell you do not order it. And so there you go. But it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Joe is saying, if you're hungry and you go to his house, he's gonna kick you out and burn your mouth off.
Yes. and the guacamole made right at your table was fantastic too. Ooh.
It was great.
That would be.
It was legit.
So
I
I'm
need a
with-
reason to go to California. Okay.
So I'm with Tim there. I like my back east job. Technically, we were closed during Christmas and New Year's, even though we were open. We had to use our own time. I always took that time off. So here with the med school, we're still open. We only get Christmas off and New Year's off, but I'm still taking that week off just because it's nice to take off. But I would say my favorite tradition is, and I don't really keep it up, but I know everyone go crazy over the Elf on the Shelf. Well, when I was a kid, before Elf on the Shelf became famous, my mom used to do a secret elf letter. You never saw elf. All you did was get a letter and maybe like a piece of candy or something like that from your elf. And it was like watching you, reporting you Santa type deal. Well, my middle child is now doing it for my son.
Oh,
that's
too
cool.
cute.
There you go.
That's too cute.
Cool. That's awesome.
Cute.
Yeah.
That's very high on the cuter meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's great is you don't have to move the darn elf that everyone it's the same thing.
So is a cutometer a cutometer?
Either one.
What? Yeah, it's the
Depends
English
on whether you're
pronunciation.
British.
Yeah.
That's true.
No.
Well, Richard, did you
Human
ever have Elf on
Keto.
the Shelf in Canada? We didn't have it.
No, I think it's
Sure.
pretty new, right? I don't even remember
It's
that when my
new.
kids
It
were little.
is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my
My
kids,
kids are
27,
15 and 17, right? And I remember my mother-in-law, because she hates me, bought one for my daughter, and Sophie was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 when we got the first one. And I think it was my favorite Christmas is when they both realized that Santa wasn't real and I didn't have to do the stupid elf anymore.
Around my neighborhood, this is the suburbs of Hollywood, and Halloween is a big deal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Halloween decorations. I love that we have that going on, but we roll directly into Christmas.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of very large skeletons with Santa outfits. Still,
That's kind of
Wrong
amazing.
with that.
yeah, it's
Nightmare-
great.
Nightmare Before
actually
Christmas.
there's actually a townhouse in our complex here because we've been walking around at night, and they actually have a Halloween Christmas tree. It has a witch hat on the top. It has bats and all this stuff, but it's a Christmas tree, but it's Halloween decked out.
That's awesome.
Mm.
I will
I
say,
had
so
a
I've noticed a lot of people this year have been keeping up certain Halloween decorations and dressing them up as Christmas decorations. Like there's those giant 30-foot skeletons. Like they've been putting Santa hats and beards on them just so they stay up for longer periods of time.
Wow.
So that reminds me, my brother back east, he used to do the Christmas lights with the Raspberry Pi, like where he can actually change the colors and all that stuff. Well, he would really do it for Christmas, but once in a while he'll set them up for Halloween, then 4th of July and stuff like that. And our neighbor would ask my mom and go, I can't believe he gets up there all the time and changes the lights for each holiday. And mom was like, no, he just changes the computer program.
That was the one thing I didn't do in this house, was put up permanent lights so that we could just which I curse myself. But you know what? Speaking of, and not to get sentimental, but allow me to give you all tears. Speaking of Christmas, favorite, what was it? Favorite Christmas holiday tradition?
Holiday traditions, yeah.
Yes. So a little bit about me, raised by a single mother who was a waitress her whole life. So I never had really holiday traditions, right? She was married, like we never had anything. Even raising my daughter, we didn't have a lot. So honestly, my favorite tradition now is shows like this, is our AV family. Like, how many times do I not show up to the AV life? But I penciled this in and told Amy for like 3 weeks, I'm showing up to the holiday episode of this, because you all have meant so much to me that this has become my holiday tradition, right? Like so many different things, and my AV family and everything we do has actually been very special to me. And moving into this higher ed world and commercial AV world has really been life-changing. So I just want to say, like, I know it's very strange, but this is kind of my holiday tradition. So cheers to you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual.
Now we need to make a wreath out of all our extra AV cables.
Oh my gosh.
That would be wonderful.
I probably could do that with all of them that are laying on my floor right now in my office.
And
I think
those jingly little 3-headed RCAs.
If you were there for the AV Super Friends live event, they had a Christmas tree and it was all decked out with, Cat 6 cable as the garland, and it was all done very well, AV.
Well, I'll follow along Joe's sentimental side of it. One of my favorite traditions, other than getting together with y'all as well, is I am a member of our Elks Lodge, and we get together all year long and do festivities to raise money for one day, and that was this Saturday. And we have over 500 kids that we shop for. We package a week's worth of groceries along with the holiday meal, and then deliver those. So on Saturday, everybody that volunteers comes up and we all deliver to the homes. And it's really something to see, how some people live and how some people are suffering, and what little bit we do can provide to them. So that's something that I made my son do when he was younger. And then he moved away, and now he's a member of an Elks Lodge. When they talked to him about why he became a member, he was like, I remember growing up and doing all these great things for these kids that were less fortunate. And I was a pretty struggling single mom myself. So he never went without, but he saw others that were in not as good a shape as we were. So I thought that is really cool. I'm really proud of that. And that just finished this weekend, and I'm like, okay, now I have to really now I have to start shopping, and I should start doing some stuff. But that we spend so much time doing that really, it just makes your heart happy that you can help those in need. And so
awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, Renee, did you say Elf's Lodge?
Elf.
I missed,
Richard, you ruined the whole moment.
No, it's Richard. I mean,
Are you two allowed to still talk to each other?
I was just
only when there are 7 other people present.
Yeah. One of the few we haven't stole yet.
I love how she said yet.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you heard it
We're
here
still
first,
recording,
people.
right?
Wow.
That sounds like a direct challenge
You-
to
you were
to
you-
Yes,
RV.
it does.
By the way, the first question you ask anyone when you show up to InfoComm is, "Where are you at now?"
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. I know.
100%.
And it's
Yeah, but
it always has now, because it's not where, because tomorrow it could totally be different.
No, that's the
Mhm.
smooth move when you can't quite, well, at my age anyway, can't quite remember their name and you can't place it. So you do the, hey man, where you at now? You can legitimately look at their badge and go, Dave.
Right.
Richard, I'm 100% stealing that. I did not know that one. That one's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up, dude. I got loads of old tips like that.
And especially when they have a badge. Now, my favorite is, I know we completely sidetracked, but if the badge just turn around and then you still can't, you go, oh my God, where are you working now? And you flip. I'm a total
I see
badge
that.
flipper.
Works
You
every
got your
time.
name,
Works
company.
every
So,
time.
Well,
giving
Jennifer,
my secret away. So people, if you
There
see
was-
me, I don't remember your name.
I know.
There
I
was
always
2
think,
years
can they see
ago
me looking at
at
the badge
ISC
and-
that they decided not to have badges, and it was brutal.
Uh-huh. It was
You
brutal.
absolutely couldn't do. You were like, so you have a
Who are you?
conversation, but you didn't really.
Yeah, I did an IT
Oh.
show like that where it was on like an app thing and they tried it and everybody hated it. No, we want our names on the badges written
Well,
down.
did you hear what they're doing this year, Nancy?
No.
Yeah. You have
So
to print it
they're-
yourself, and
they're going back to paper badges, but you have to print it yourself.
Wait, what
if
show's
you
that?
don't come with your own
What did
badge,
I just do? What did I just?
you did
You
this.
had
I know
balloons.
they were balloons. I thought it was your birthday all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's right. The balloons
Oh,
are
look at
showing.
All
that.
right. Okay, so here we
That-
go. An
doesn't work for
AV
me.
Life fundraiser. Buy 2 printers, and we have them right outside with a laptop so people can print their badge. And
There you
charge
go.
$10 a person for people
I'll
who
I'll
Maybe
send
I'll
forget
down
set up
their
an
Sharp
badge.
response to
aviation
that because we
kiosk
make
right
printers.
outside
So
South Hall.
Boom. There we go. I'll take a commission. I won't do it, but you can go do it, and then I'll take a commission for the idea.
Well, you saw the post I did because I just decided today for LinkedIn and Twitter, the easiest way, because I've only had a couple consultants tell me that, hey, we're going to ISC. And I thought, both said to me, I have to present a case to them that in order for me to go, that there are a good group of US consultants. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to email out to a whole slew? Or I thought, well, let's play it and see if people do answer that if I just post it, whether the ones that I know are going to say. So we'll see within the next couple days.
Yeah, no, speaking of posting things to ISE while we have an active audience, Hired AV will be at ISE, and we are now we are soliciting sponsors because we would love to come and promote your brand. And you can go to hiredav.com/ISE 2024. Not at this moment for those on the call, but it will be there by Monday when this thing goes live.
Hey, basically,
and-
Renee and Jenny, that's us 3 he's talking to there, by the way. not the other 4. Just
And Nancy.
put that out there.
And Nancy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Well,
I'm
wait a
just
minute.
saying.
Boza already has a sponsor, right?
Well,
That's
you know what?
additional.
We'll talk.
Okay.
I'll text. I'll
Wait,
text
wait.
you.
Not of
Because
Baby Nation, Nancy.
I've made it to them internally that I also with Williams new Hetman and all you folks and things. So hoping to sort of wrangle in there somehow.
By the way,
You
Joe,
know
my
what?
Well,
title is
And
gonna
that,
be-
by the way, is why we love you.
I think my
and
new title at
also-
Sony is Regional Account Manager / Hetma Advisor.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. And I did see your email today, Renee. So I'm gonna and watch this magic that I just texted Nancy on a live call. Booth sponsor packages on a live call. I mean, you want to talk about pro move as we're
Well,
going.
And
Because
so
you've
while
never
we're
Joe
done that
has
before.
it all right at his fingertips.
And while
It's
we're
amazing.
talking events, also January 24th, correct, Joe, is the Arizona Hetma Roadshow stop?
is the Arizona Roadshow is January 24th from Hetma. And by the way, Ryan is knocking it out of the park. You know what? I think we need a new roadshow chair, and it needs to be Ryan. Period. Because he
Just
is
to handle all
knocking
the
it out of the park.
locations. So yeah, if you're in the Arizona area, and especially if you're coming from a smaller institution that's in that area, Ryan and I had a great call today regarding that. So yes, if you're in the area and you want it's a free event. It's an all-day event. Go register. Find the information at hetma.org. Also save the date for April the 10th of 2024 for the New Jersey area.
Calm down.
At Rutgers University. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there because I got the date, so I'm putting it out there now. I'm not wasting my time.
Richard, I already got my trips booked through July, so that's actually helpful.
I just added it to the list of things that we've got going on too. So
More information to come in the new year, but I'm throwing that out there as the save the date right now. So.
And by the way, while we are talking about sponsorships for events, I would like to give a great shout out to AV Nation and CTI for their support of Erin Moran and all their support, because she does run the EdTech podcast and will be live at ISE, both assisting with the EdTech podcast and our Hetma experience.
Oh,
hey Joe, are you going to have a booth at ISE?
We have an area.
An area? Okay.
And I put area in air quotes.
And we have a
called
tweet up.
Wherever I Am. That's our area. No,
I'm just kidding.
We're officially out of the Influencers Lounge in Hall 4. We'll be there. We have a whole day. We're going to do some live recording, both from the various places we're going to be doing live recordings. So there we go. How about that?
Okay.
So much happening already in the new year. So we're
yes.
Yeah. Not
going to be a great year.
It is going to be a great year. Yes.
And by the way, there's going to be breaking news at ISE.
No.
Yeah.
That's all because that's all we know how to do is breaking news at ISE.
Are you moving places again? Is that the breaking news?
Am I moving? I don't move. No, I'm just trying to get the heck out of this thing. And I keep getting reeled back in because they love my choice of clothing. And so
that's
there
it.
We go.
That's totally it.
I was gonna say I thought I actually did pretty well here with my candy cane. Like,
very nice.
Looks
very
good.
well.
But then Joe, as he likes to do, takes over things.
I'm just advertising for avswag.com.
Nancy's got a pretty fancy necklace.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the way,
it's
it's not a.
I had to borrow it from my
No.
son, and I have my Disney Cruise Christmas T-shirt on.
Mhm.
By the way, Renee,
Yes.
it is not avswag.com.
Oh.
It is
Girl.
avswag.com promotion code Higher Ed AV. Make sure you put the promotion code of Higher Ed AV in there, because I need my dollar commission.
Well, I wish I would have known.
Sorry,
that
I think it's $1.50 on the sweatshirt.
No.
We have to get some more Higher Ed AV swag on there for you.
I know. We're working on that. Tell Brad, if you're listening, which we guarantee you are not, but let's pretend Brad is at this time of it.
Someone needs to tell him about the episode.
Hey, he got a shout out.
There you go.
There we go.
And a promotion.
And a promotion.
And a promotion code. Mm-hmm.
So,
Joe, what's the story behind the president of the Tim Albright fan club? Because we all want to be.
That's my name. See, do you
That's
not
your
look at my
name?
box? That's my name on my box all night.
Oh, good Lord.
I just thought we all want to be in the Tim Albright
We
fan
all
club.
do.
Tim Albright has been focused on the actual show, so he has.
I have my things turned off. I have to roll over people for it to pop up.
Yeah.
Roll over, Joe.
If there's ever going to be a Tim Albright fan club, if I am not president, I will be very upset.
Well, thankfully there will not be.
You never know. There might be one and you just don't know it.
Oh, God, I
Yeah,
hope not.
apparently
Wow.
there is one, and he's the president.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I bet he's looking for
Don't worry,
sponsors.
he's gonna hit you up. with
He's looking for-
Will AV Nation sponsor help him out?
Mm.
Wait, has Hetman
Not
ever
until
thought-
I no longer run it. Yeah.
I mean, this is completely unrelated. But have I ever mentioned how Hetman has 1,500 different schools involved, and we would love an integrator to partner with us?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I tried.
I'm just.
I tried.
Hey, you have all your internal
Shush.
Yeah.
people.
Hashtag in-house integrator.
In-house
Yeah,
integrator,
yeah,
yes.
see, I was thinking of
But
you.
there
Mike.
are, but there
Mike,
are
whose side are you on,
opportunities
Mike?
there.
There are.
Yeah.
Mike, we need to get you to IOC too. Come on. Whose side are you on?
Mike,
In-house
Mike.
And
integrators
actually-
are dead. Dead.
So actually, here's a nice transition. If you are in a smaller institution that needs assistance, that it comes down to upgrading your technology and things like that, yes, we would love to hear from you at HETMA. We also do have a scholarship of some technology that was donated by the wonderful folks at Aurora Multimedia here in New Jersey.
Very cool.
And we have an application at hetma.org that you can find and apply for. The deadline's been extended until January 31st of 2024. And for all those who may be listening and know of
are
an
maybe
institution who
listening.
may need that assistance, please pass the word along. If you do need the integration assistance, we might be able to direct you into the direction of someone who may be able to help you out with
We're
that.
directing in a direction.
Directing in
Yeah,
a direction. Yeah,
correct.
we could direct
That's
them in
what
a
you said.
direction.
Been a long night, Joe. Leave him alone.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
We can make
It's only
it work. They've
6:34
got-
p.m.
It's
They've got a couple
9:45
offices
p.m. here in
around.
New Jersey. All right. I've been
Boy.
going hard since 7:30, so it's been. But anyway, there's more, and also if you are in the DEI area, please apply for the Prism Scholarship also at hetma.org, and we can get you hooked up with training from Avixa for your CTS, for coming to Infocom. There's many benefits, so please apply for that scholarship as well. That is also currently live. So I think
You
I
guys
hit
have a
right.
lot going on.
I know. It's like, did we get all the plugs in yet?
That's why I'm checking with the boss here.
I was just
Well,
waiting
you know,
for until our next adventure.
we haven't mentioned the HETMA virtual conference as we were talking about events,
Oh
right?
yeah.
February
This
21st through the 24th. So save the date for that as well.
That
Uh,
is one of my favorite events.
We were
Yeah.
virtual before it was cool.
Yep.
Right. So
Also
Yeah.
free, so make sure you register for that.
It has the best price ever.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
So
And by the way, this year, speaking of which, best price ever, it is also free for all of our sponsors. There is no upcharge to be a sponsor of the virtual conference for all you manufacturers and integrators who listen to the show, because I see the stats. I know that we're half integrators and manufacturers. All you have to do is be a gold sponsor, annual gold sponsor or higher, and you have free sponsorship of our virtual conference. So how about that?
That's amazing.
That
Yeah.
is.
And until our next adventure.
hey, whoa, hey, time out. Whoa, no.
I tried to steal the
He's gonna
show.
get his
That's
steal
what I
And with
did.
my
me.
tagline.
At least you know I listen.
At least let me
Really
thank
so
the
hard to
guests
steal your
before
show.
you take over and shut it down.
There's always one, Tim.
Bada
There's
boom,
always
bada
know.
one.
bang.
Oh,
And it's usually him. You
right.
know?
Yeah. And it's usually
Yeah.
Joe. So
But
And
You have
see,
Joe and
and
mine
the
is Bradford
guest-
Ben.
oh, there
guest,
you go.
guest crew, guest.
I know.
crew,
I was
guest
nice.
crew,
I
like,
brought him to crew member
wonder why you
level.
go
Now
back
he's
and
making
forth.
me regret it.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm guest next time.
We'll
think I'm
see.
guessing.
strong, you're right.
Well, yes, as Joe is already kind of guiding us to, it is time for us to say goodbye. This will be the last one for 2023 of the current edition. I will probably be filling in with some older episodes that have yet to be released. So keep an eye out for some surprise recordings that never saw the light of day. None of them with Ryan Gray though. So we got caught up with Ryan. So yeah, keep an ear out for some lost episodes to make an appearance over the coming weeks. So happy holidays. Enjoy. Thank you so much to our guests, Mike, Jennifer, Tim, Richard. A pleasure as absolutely always. And to my crew, thank you. This has been a wonderful 2023.
Yes.
And I am looking forward to what 2024 brings for all of us. Again, happy holidays, happy new year. And now, until our next adventure.
Until our next adventure.